What's up YouTube, this is Lucas with Foxhot Gaming, and today I'm going to be bringing you another Paradox 4D farming video. Now last time we went over Blue Eyes White Dragon method of farming, which can have some difficult to obtain cards, so we're going over another option that I just tested plenty and worked without a hitch. So that's the tried and true Cerberus. Now, my deck, you don't have to make it exactly like it. I do think Shard of Greed is one of the better cards in this, but something key that makes this deck work is Goblin's Secret Remedy plus Red Medicine. When you don't take an attack, these can bump you up to the last digits being 100, so that you can use Abyssal Designators plus Pot of Benevolence to get back Abyssal Designators in order to lower your life points to 100 and get even better bonus points. Now the cool part is, since this is 600 and 500, no matter where your life points at, you can get them to an odd or an even number. So there's a bit chance that if you do take battle damage, you can still reconcile getting to 100 life points. If not, you can at least get to 1,000 and below for bonus points. Now what I've done against Paradox is one thing that I think you really need, and that's Shooting Star Bow Seal. It allows your Cerberus to attack directly, which is important because it's possible that the Paradox brothers can have a complete field full of monsters that can lower your attack to 0. Now, a lot of these other choices, like Big Bang Shot, not necessary. I chose them because I have Glossies. Econs are nice. Twister, that's more life point manipulation. So, yeah, other than that, I use the Golden Apples just to round out the deck. You can use something like Enchanted Javelin if you feel that you need a bit extra survival. And of course, Sorcery Conduit is a skill. So let's look at some of these replays. So I go first in this first video. Starts out with Labyrinth, we know that. It's not too bad. And this is a very strange hand. It's a lot worse than it looks, simply because he can summon a high-level monster, and our Cerberus can't get that high yet. So the Golden Apples kind of saves us in a way. Doesn't really save us, but it's not a bad card to have there. So now things get even more awkward, unfortunately for us, and we get Pot of Benevolence, which isn't a card that I really want to drop early, but I have to in this case. So I shuffle in his. And this replay, most of the time there's not a problem, but this replay makes me think that you can substitute the Benevolence out for another 1,000 life point cost. Because in this case, I have cut myself off from being able to get below 1,000, I do believe. So here now, Cerberus is just doing its Cerberus thing. It shouldn't be too difficult to see, because we all know it like the back of our hands. If you're new to Duel Links, here's Cerberus, a classic farming deck. So, one thing I do know is that one of the Duel Links websites I use, GameEA, I believe, or Game A, don't know how they pronounce it, but they say he has Battle Mania, a trap that forces you to attack his monsters. Obviously, this should be a problem for Cerberus, but I haven't had it used against me once. Not in any farming deck I've tried. So I'm not sure what's up with that, if he even has the card, but it looks like Cerberus is viable because they either don't have it or they don't use it correctly. So here we're initiating the killing phase. Oh, and yes, I had a Twister, so I was able to get to 1,000. which is pretty nice. Okay, so we're going second in this one. And out of like 7 or 8 times of trying this deck, I haven't noticed too much of a problem with the 1-turn kill that he can possibly do on you. If he gets a double summon and a Suijin, plus a 1500 attacker, he can one-shot you, but I haven't had too much issue. So here, I immediately pot a Benevolence to get myself up above Suijin. Getting above 2500 attack is key so that Suijin can't stop you. And I'll use the Abyssal Designators later to get myself to 100 life points, which is a key difference between 7k score and an 8k score. So, and as you can see, I'm using quite a few glossy cards. You don't have to use exactly what I'm using. It's mostly just Cerberus and magic cards that you can use immediately. But yeah, it's all about life point manipulation. Other than that, to get the bonus points. So there, we use Goblin's Secret Remedy. Use enemy controller to use it. And that is one thing, is that you can just stop defense one of his Labyrinth Walls, but he is not guaranteed to have one up by the end of the game. Which is why I like using Shooting Starbow Seal instead of relying on stop defense in this matchup. Okay, so I got myself to the 100 life points, and now we're initiating the end game phase. So there you have it. Once again, we use Cerberus and there's not a problem. Let's look at just one more. I go second in this matchup once again. And this is a pretty okay starting hand. It ends up getting a little bit worse, but he manages to not have any monsters. That's one thing about Paradox 40 that's kind of nice, is that he uses a lot of cards that combo off of each other, but if he doesn't have an enabler for those Suijins, for the Kazugens that he draws, then he just has dead hands. And this happens, I think, more than any other Legendary Duelist I've seen. You can't count on it, but it does happen, so look out for it, take advantage. With the draws this deck was getting, though, I think I may have been in trouble this matchup if he did have something fast, but he did not. So I'm just filling up my hand. I shuffle in both Abyssal Designators. You don't have to name anything with that card, by the way. It's just to take out 1,000 life points. So there are other cards you can use in place if you have shinies or prismatics. There's the last one. We're down to 100 life points again, which means that this is going to be an 8k run. I turn the Labyrinth to attack position to use my prismatic enemy controller. And there's the Ryoku to put our main Cerberus over 10k. And there you have it. 3 times I showed you videos, and 3 times he did not use anything to stop Cerberus from going off. You just need to make sure to hit that 2500, and then he just can't do anything. Anyways, my personal opinion is I'd use this if a larger card pool isn't available to you. I have looked up the Unhappy Girl, and in my opinion, Unhappy Girl and Blue Eyes White Dragon are likely more consistent to this, because this can lose on the wrong hand against his right hand. So keep that in mind, but overall, very consistent way to farm level 40 Paradox Brothers. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.